2 years ago, I quit my career as a project manager to become a farmer, my idea of living a sustainable life at the time. Being born and brought up in the city, I had no experience nor skill to farm. I couldn't even hold this properly. People would laugh at me. But I was determined to live the dream of sustainable life. And the reasons were brought together by 4 puzzle pieces. They are my king and my country, my family, my educations, and my environment. Let me walk you through the journey of mine. I come from one of the most abundant countries under the reign of King Bhumibol Adulyadej, the late King of Thailand, who in my eyes is one of the most beloved, talented, and hardworking visionary. And he developed the concept of sufficiency economy that promotes living life in moderation and being self-reliant. And that was the first piece and seed that was planted. Despite that, many Thais are still entrapped in materialistic world. We are moved by the latest iPhone launch or the next coming grand sale. And this system of taking, making, and trashing the world is not going to last. And it is feeding on the expense of other people. That was experienced firsthand by my parents. They were forced to leave their job early because the companies were not doing well. And that second piece developed and grown my dream. The third piece came through the course of education, where I chose to study biomedical science, hoping to find cure for the incurables, only to discover that good health doesn't start in the hospital. It starts with taking good food, maintaining good mind, and being in a good environment. And sustainable living pretty much sum up the 3. The fourth and most alarming piece of all was when my neighbor decided to cut down a really large rain tree that has given me shades and greeneries and fresh air for so long and replace it with concrete wall. I was angry and furious at how short-sighted and selfish the neighbor was, sacrificing a tree for their own comfort and convenience. That day I told myself that I would create a sustainable living space where people can rely less on money and materials and more on living in alignment with nature. I have this beautiful picture of going to the front yard, picking fruits and vegetables, and cook for breakfast and enjoy the morning sun. But the reality was this. There was a small piece of land that I experiment my farm and my dream. I struggle to feed myself, and I try to sell soap and detergents that I make for myself, or even market the little produce that the farm could give me. I quickly lost interest, and I lost myself. But at the same time, the need to improve the soil quality in my farm gave me the idea that has become the beginning of my social venture called Pakdone, which means push forward. And Pak alone in Thai means vegetable. So vegetable gets done through bringing organic waste back to compost, restoring nutrients to the soil and the earth. The idea was also awarded by Thai City Farm Project under Sustainable Agriculture Foundation. And this pushed me to investigate further on the issue of waste. What I found was terrifying. In each day in Bangkok, 10,000 tons of waste are being generated. And the amount of money spent on disposing these waste could have fed over 60,000 people, let alone the means of disposal, which are mainly landfills and incinerations that cause damage and pressure to the environment. What I found also led me to find the key to approaching my dream by tackling waste, closing the loop and creating a true sustainable cycle. I was so passionate about this that I started going to the restaurants and markets to collect organic waste and transport it on my own car and bring it back to the farm to process into compost. I continued to do so for 5 months, and I would get over 30 kgs of waste every day, and that makes it a ton per month. Until February this year, I fell down the stairs and I hurt my back, and I could no longer lift heavy things. And that was when I found a flaw to my approach of solving this waste issue. People mindset did not change. I would get call demanding when I could come and pick up the waste again. So together with my 2 friends and co-founders, we transformed Pakdone by not just directly collecting organic waste, but we promote people to manage waste at their own source, at their own home. And we provide tools and trainings, as well as giving the incentives of buying back the compost. And again, we find there are 2 limiting factors to that. They are that the value of compost was not much to overcome the logistic cost, and it's not financially feasible as well as environmentally. And the second thing is that the people who join our course and our training, they already have a good mentality towards environment and towards waste. But what we want to spread this understanding that every single piece of waste is valuable. Imagine how clean and the road and street would be. People can just stop by and picnic anywhere. Or the river and canal, so fresh and clear, we would like to jump into the water and enjoy it. And that's the mission of Pakdone. We want to create this system where we facilitate the perception change into the community, into the schools, into the temple, creating the mini sustainable cycle everywhere where they can tackle their own waste, bring it to resource, and create that mini production. But how do we create such an understanding that waste is valuable? And how do we tackle and attract young generations? Perhaps through a mobile game application.
You think waste is useless? Think again. Whoever you are, or whatever you're doing, when there's waste available,
where are you going? Hey, that's my bike!
Test your might.
everybody is ready to battle for waste.
Choose your destiny.
Catch the waste. Get reward.
Where were you?
I just want us to movie tickets.
How?
Pakdone, go!
Pakdone. We make waste management fun and rewarding.
Thank you.